So let's talk about Scrum. Now, this isn't some stuffy, complicated rule book. Think of it more like a game plan, a really effective one that's all about helping teams work together to build amazing things. It's a game you can actually win. Let's break down how to play. And you know this quote from Jim Highsmith? It just nails the whole idea of Scrum. Big, grand ideas are totally useless if you don't do anything with them. But on the flip side, just doing stuff without any guiding principles, that can get messy fast. Scrum lives right in that sweet spot, connecting solid values to the real work you do every single day. I love this analogy from our source material. It compares Scrum to the board game Othello, which has this famous slogan, "A minute to learn, a lifetime to master." And that's just a perfect way to think about it, right? You can pick up the basic rules of Scrum, the mechanics, in no time at all. But really mastering the strategy, the mindset, the values behind it, that's the real challenge. And that's where the magic really happens. Okay, so every good game starts with setting up the board. For Scrum, that means getting to know the players and understanding the master plan they're all working from. Let's meet the team and take a look at the one list that guides the entire project. It all comes down to just three core roles that make up every single Scrum team. Each one has a very specific and absolutely critical part to play. First up, you've got the product owner. They're the voice of the customer, the one who decides what the team is going to build. Then there's the Scrum Master. They're like a coach, making sure the team is playing the game right and clearing any roadblocks that get in their way. And finally, the team members. These are the experts, the doers, the ones who actually build the product and turn all those ideas into something real. The team's entire game plan is captured in what's called the product backlog. You can think of it as this living, breathing, prioritized to-do list for the whole project. The most important, highest value stuff is always right there at the top, so the team is never guessing what they should work on next. So we've got our players, we've got our plan. What happens next? Well, now it's time to actually play around. In Scrum, every round of the game is called a sprint, and it's the heartbeat of the whole process. It's where the work gets done. So a sprint is basically one cycle of the game. It's time-boxed, which is just a fancy way of saying it has a fixed length, usually somewhere between 1 and 4 weeks, to create this really predictable rhythm. And the whole point of every single sprint is to take a chunk of items from the master list and turn them into a real working piece of the product that you can actually use. And every sprint follows this exact same pattern. It starts with sprint planning, where the team figures out what they can build. Then, every day, they have a quick daily scrum to sync up. At the end, there's a sprint review to show off what they built and a retrospective to talk about how they can get even better. It's this powerful loop: plan, sync, show, improve, over and over again. Let's dive a little deeper into that first step, sprint planning. This is where the team huddles up, looks at that big product backlog, and pulls a chunk of work off the top. That chunk becomes their sprint backlog. It's their focused plan and their promise for that one sprint. Okay, let's clear something up about the daily scrum. A lot of people think it's a status report for a manager. It's not, at all. This is a super quick 15-minute huddle for the team by the team. It's their chance to sync up, make a plan for the next 24 hours, and stay on the same page. And the whole meeting is driven by 3 simple questions for everybody. What did I do yesterday to help us get closer to our goal? What am I going to do today to help us get there? And, really importantly, is there anything standing in my way? Answering these keeps everyone aligned and, crucially, brings problems out into the open right away. Now, remember, the goal of a sprint isn't just to be busy. It's to actually build something that works. And the sprint review is the big show and tell moment. This is where the team gets to demonstrate the real functional software they created. They get feedback right then and there from stakeholders, and that feedback helps decide what they'll build in the very next sprint. So, we've covered the mechanics, right? The players, the plan, how the game is played. But here's the thing. Just going through the motions isn't enough to really win with Scrum. The true power comes from embracing the core values that bring this whole framework to life. These 5 values are the absolute secret sauce. You need courage to tackle the tough problems. You need commitment to the team and its goals. You need focus on the work you've promised to do. You need openness about your progress and your struggles. And you need respect for each other as smart, capable people. Without these, Scrum is just an empty process. And while all 5 are critical, our source material really puts a spotlight on one in particular: commitment. This is so often the thing that separates a team that's just fine from a team that is absolutely crushing it. So what do we really mean by commitment here? It's not just about trying hard. It's way deeper. It's a promise to deliver. It's that feeling of shared ownership and real responsibility for the project's success. It's the whole team saying, we've got this. We will get this done together.
And the difference it makes, it's staggering. A team that's merely involved will get things done, sure, but a team that is truly committed, a team that feels that genuine ownership, they're on a whole other level. Their collaboration, their problem solving, the quality of their work, it's not even a competition.
When a team is truly committed, you stop hearing things like, "That's not my job." That phrase just disappears. Instead, you get this culture of shared ownership. The entire team feels responsible for shipping great software, which makes them want to help each other out, not just toss tasks over the wall.
So how do you get that kind of commitment? Well, this quote from the source really gets to the heart of it. You have to unite the team around a purpose that's bigger than a checklist. And you know what? One of the best motivators out there is knowing that the thing you're building is actually making someone's life better.
So, this all brings us to one final question for you to think about. Look at your own team, your own projects. Are people just involved? Are they just checking off their tasks? Or do they feel that deep collective responsibility for the outcome? Are they truly committed? Because, as we've seen, the answer to that question can change everything.